sometimes when professional success happens, you have to sometimes give something up to have professional success happens. It's so rare to have it all. So if I had told you last year, not only would you be nominated as Best Actor, but Dan Snyder would no longer own the Washington football team or Commanders, you'd be like, well, I believe the Oscar.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you thinking right now?
It's a new day, baby. It's a new day. Actually, Josh Harris, who is our new owner, is a buddy of mine from summer camp.
Come on.
Camp Minnehaha represent, baby. Camp Minnehaha, White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Yeah, I first met him when I was maybe 8 years old. His brother Gabe was in my cabin.
Okay.
As soon as the news came out that the previous owner was considering a sale,
yes.
I reached out to them. Gabe and I had remained friends through college, but I hadn't talked to him in a while. Mm-hmm. Josh and I hadn't talked to in years. But I was like, hey, Gabe, what are you guys? Looking at this, and sure enough, Josh is at the helm now. And so I bought season tickets again.
You did?
I had let my mom's lapse. My mom had season tickets from 1970. I grew up at RFK Stadium, as I've mentioned on this show before. But I let them lapse after she passed because I was like, man, I just can't do it. And I bought tickets again. So I went to every game until this rollout of our film started.
Yeah.
I'm probably the guest on your show right now who has seen fewer games in any sport lately. But yeah, I went to the first preseason game and I saw Josh and I had all these ideas about what we might do.
Do you think they should change the name?
What do you think?
You do?
Yeah, I do. I think what's happening is that everything related to the previous era is being undone. To that point, I was talking to Josh about, fan experience stuff, particularly how we can win. He's like, slow down, bro. He's like, look, I'm trying to fix the plumbing in the stadium. We got pipes that need, so
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Within the organization, the infrastructure needed to be scanned and needed to be addressed, assessed, and worked through. And that's what he's doing. And he knows what this franchise was. He knows what fans want it to be, which is akin to what it was in terms of the pride that we took in that team and what it meant to community and in the way they played on the field. Bottom line, man. Bottom line is how you play that game. So Josh was an athlete too. Josh was a wrestler. He was a good wrestler. Mm-hmm. I think he wrestled at Penn. So he's got that competitive spirit. He's got at least a window on what it means. And so anyway, he's going about it in the right way. And the new coaching staff looks exciting. Mm-hmm. I love the sense of respect that Dan Quinn has from players that have played for him and coaches. Mm-hmm. Anthony Lynn came on.
That's true. Yeah.
Came from San Francisco. He said, hey, man, I want to be with this dude. I know that this guy is a leader. That's what it takes. I went back 1969, saw Vince Lombardi's press conference when he came on board.
Right.
Vince Lombardi said, I want to win first season if possible. That's the attitude. Come in, get it done, win.
Well, it's not like the cupboard's bare completely, right?
That's right.
There's some good quality players. They've got the second overall pick.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible, that management decides to move up one spot. Caleb Williams is truly appears to be generationally talented. He's from the area.
Gonzaga High School. Gonzaga College High School. Yes, he is.
Which would be another way to excite the fan base is if I think you're giving voice to the general sense of this is awesome. Ding dong, the witch is dead. We're in. We're back.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Yeah, that would be a great story. I mean, it's a bit on the optics side, though. It could be. What's important is how he plays the game. Who knows if they have an opportunity? It looks like the Bears are looking at. Who knows? Right. There's some good. Who knows what they do?
Right.
Do they go after a quarterback? Do they use those picks to that pick to broaden their picks? It's not. I'm not in the war room. But I will say this about Caleb Williams, that I think you're right. He had a rough season this last season, but that guy has some incredible athletic instincts. And what I see in him that's really exciting is the way he sees the field, his vision, the way his head swivels. Like Mahomes. Mahomes has that too.
No doubt.
It's rare. It's rare. You just watch those guys, their ability to scan danger and find opportunity. That's the thing.
And then complete it with a flick of the wrist.
He got an arm that works pretty well too.
He does have and
he's stout. He's durable.
I think he's bigger than Mahomes.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's bigger than Mahomes. And it just, throw the word Mahomes around, which I've done. I mean, just like you did. It's obviously a large level of expectation, but I just love hearing the excitement in your voice. And then on top of it, I mean, if you could choose somebody from the world of sports and business to come in outside of your camp friend Josh Harris, Magic Johnson,
baby.
Right?
Hey,
do you know what's going on in your life right now? It's kind of crazy.
It's good. It's all good. Yeah, the last game I went to was at SoFi out here when they played the Rams, and happened to see Magic there. And of course, we all know who Magic Johnson is. And I'll tell you what, Magic Johnson is not one who's friendly with losing in anything that he does.
Yeah.
So the Avengers have assembled, and and it's there's so much work to be done on every level, but they recognize that, and they are willing to do that and wanting to do that. So bright things on the horizon. We'll see what happens with the new venue. I'm hoping that the team comes back to the spiritual home, and that is at the site where RFK Stadium was.
Right.
People, you need to have an appreciation for what that place represents. Yes, there were some incredible games played there. I have so many wonderful memories there. We all do who were at that stadium. It was a beautiful, beautiful stadium, intimate stadium. But it was also a memorial. It's Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium. It sits at the other end of Washington, D.C., on the Anacostia River. At the far side of the city, directly down across the mall, is the Lincoln Memorial. It's not just a football stadium. There is something so symbolic and powerful in that piece of land that is beyond any other place for a sports venue in this country. And I think if we celebrate that aspect of it as well, to recognize its importance not only to the city but as a national piece, then it's hard not to come back there. Obviously, there are the fiscal issues, there's the political issues, and all that stuff. But we want to bring the team home.
It seems like the management and ownership gets it.
Yeah.
Like they understand what has happened. They understand who folks like you represent and what would push your buttons, right? And I think the business community has just been dying to talk to somebody else, than the previous guy, as you've referred to. And I think that all alone together will get things done in the way that I think you'll wind up being happy. No doubt about it. I just remember I went to one game at RFK. I sat in an end zone seat, 2 rows from the front of the upper deck. I had to get up and see when the ball was thrown in the back of the end zone. I had to get up and lean over to see what was going on underneath. And then at one point, I turned to my friend who took me to the game. I'm like, "Oh, is this seat shaking?" And he's just said, "Yeah, look around. You would see it would shake." And then, of course, the band playing music too.
Man. And no seatbelts. But you're absolutely right. I remember Mark Mosley used to
straight on kicker,
and he would kick the ball so high it would go over the net behind the goalpost most often, and I would run down. My mom's seats were in the corner just above the band, right? We had some cover. It was cool, But anyway, I would run down. You could run down, scamper down, and you could watch the game from behind the goalpost. And when Mosley would kick the ball over the net, I would run back behind the bleachers. You could sneak back there and you could get the ball, man. I got a ball or two that way.
Did you?
Yeah, man. It was a different time. But yeah, man, it was so special. It was so special. I'm glad you had an opportunity to experience and people who were there know there was just an intimacy there. There was just and players who came there, they feared to come there if you were playing against the Redskins.
Yes, I know.
formerly known
Yes,
as,
correct.
then you were up against something.
Oh, I was there when the Cowboys were in.
Yeah.
And Danny White was being burned in effigy in the parking lot.
Well, that was probably better than what happened to him on the field in that championship game in 1983 when, he was planted by Dexter Manley.
Dexter Manley.
Dexter, man. Yeah, I was at that game. I got a ticket stub from that game. Actually, I think it reads NFC Championship game, whatever the date was, 1983.
Yeah.
$20.
20.
Wow.
Yeah, different day.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.